Is the MCU finally back after the phase we just had? Is the Fantastic Four really here to bring it all back? Welcome to the Triple Take. I'm Joseph.
I'm Manny.
Now I'm Frank.
Start off the episode. Spoiler-free review, straightforward, trust and believe. Once we hit to the spoiler territory, this is your disclaimer. We will let you know. If you don't care, stay. If you care, leave. But come back. All I'm gonna say is, it is worth the watch. It is very much worth the watch indeed. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. If I had to give it a rating, like as a movie on its own, 9 out of 10. In the MCU, that was a 10 out of 10 for me. I ain't gonna lie.
You're saying, wait, you're saying that in comparison to the amount of crap we've gotten from the MCU?
In the past year or two, yes.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, like, the one thing that at least a movie, like, means a lot to me when it comes down to a movie is style. You know, by comparison, another movie that came out this year with style was Sinners, you know? The movie had its own identity, and for an MCU movie, compared to the rest of them, this really stands on its own. Like, you can't really fault the movie in that way. There was a simplicity to the movie. There was an aspect of depth to this movie that wasn't smothered by layers to it. And I don't say this about a lot of movies because I'm not Manny, but I would like to rewatch this movie. It's very rewatchable.
Not my fault. I like to watch movies twice.
It's not my fault either. But
you should be concerned. You know, the movie should be concerned if I don't want to watch it twice.
I give it a 9 out of 10. Or 10 out of 10. I don't care. I like the movie. I kind of want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was gonna see when you're gonna bump it up because I knew you didn't mean the 9 out of 10 the way you were talking.
It was nice. I liked it.
All right, man, go ahead.
Frank,
I'll go last.
Frank.
Nah,
you want to go last?
All
right,
yeah,
cool.
I'll go last.
All right, cool. Obviously, my love for Marvel is endless, boundless, insanely. It's what I grew up with. And I adore the production team and everybody who's done this, like worked behind the scenes for it. My actual rating is this is a 9.5.
Oh my!
I love this movie.
Bro.
This is a 9.5.
You with the 9.5, bro.
It's
Just
not
say
a
clear
10.
number.
No.
It is not a
Say
10.
a clear
The way
number.
you tell me not to say a 0.5 and then you do it yourself, hypocrite. Hypocrisy. This is what I stand against.
Bro, I'm tired
You're
of these
not
point
me.
fives.
You're
Oh
not
my
me.
Goodness.
Either way,
Man, I'm
this
still
is
the
a
best.
9.5. Why do I say 9.5? It leans more towards a 9 than it is a 10, but I don't feel like it's better than Thunderbolts, and I gave Thunderbolts a 9. So I don't
That's
know
why you
where
gave
to
it a
lie.
9.5. You could just say it's a 9 and then, but still say you prefer it over Thunderbolts. It's not that deep.
No,
It
it's
doesn't have
got to
to
be
be-
it's got to be a
It doesn't
point
have to
scale
be
better.
rating accurate.
I
It's definitely
love
better than Thunderbolts. And Thunderbolts was good.
This is, and I may be wrong, but so far, in my opinion, this is one of the best looking MCU movies. They took proper care of how this all looked. I think the antagonist, which I won't mention who it is, was done great. I was terrified when he was on screen. I was worried. I felt like stuff should have happened that didn't happen, but it's okay because there's more to come. And they left it open-ended. I feel justified in saying that this is a top 10 MCU film. Top 10.
I agree.
Easily top 10. I love
I would say
Pedro
5.
Pascal.
I would.
I love Pedro Pascal. I love Joseph Quinn. I don't like that you're me and you need to stop. I wonder who has a camera in my room and is watching my every move, but I am not the Human Torch. So stop stealing my lines. That's all I gotta say. Vanessa Kirby, you did great. You are my Sue Storm. You may not be Jessica Alba, but you are my Sue Storm. Eobon, the Thing, you are my thing. That's my thing. That's my thing. And to the other two that are part of this movie, you did phenomenal jobs. Everybody did great in this movie, even the lady that I forgot was a part of the movie. When she rolled up on the credits, I looked at Joseph and said, who the is that? When did she come out in the movie? You did great. Thumbs up, Marvel. It's been a long time coming to have 2 back-to-back.
Back-to-back bangers.
Yes.
All right, so for me, honestly, I don't remember what I gave Thunderbolts, honestly.
You
but
gave it an 8.
Makes sense.
Trust me, I remember that, and I'll remember it till the day I die.
So this movie, I give it a 9 out of 10.
We agree?
But, no, we don't, Mr. 9.5. You're by yourself. Me and Joseph agree. But for me, the reason why I didn't give it a 10, huh?
I said it was.
Oh,
a
you're
10.
right. You switched it. Your fault. I guess we never agree. Anyway, none of us agree. The reason why I did not give it a 10 is because I think Marvel movies always tend to fall into this, yeah, it's a good movie, but part of the reason why it's good is because of what's going to come next. And this is the way I view it, right? So as its own movie, it's good. 10 out of 10 good? No. Is it better than what Marvel's been coming out with before Thunderbolts and recently? Yes. But I would not want to rewatch it personally. I would rather just look forward to what comes next and then probably rewatch that. But when it comes to rewatchability, I definitely prefer something like Thunderbolts because I feel like it stands better as its own movie, as its own story, opposed to like what it sets up. Granted, this is first steps, so it's good as a first movie, but like every first movie introducing somebody, it's always gonna, especially with something like a superhero movie or Marvel where it's setting something up, it's gonna have its little like flaws when it comes to like things that it could have done where like they're kind of saving it. Like Manny said, great performances, nothing to say. Like they all acted. That's probably the best part, the way they acted. If I think we can all agree on that. Like their performances were amazing, and honestly, it's to be expected because every single one of those actors are amazing. Like I never doubted it for a second. Honestly, they kind of surpassed my expectations. I didn't think they were gonna be that good. I didn't think they were gonna give them an opportunity to be that good. Yeah, I think it was a great movie.
To add to Frank's point about the having like well-known, very prominent, successful actors and actresses in these roles, we have these like higher tier actors and actresses, and usually Marvel, they do good, but they only do as good as the script that's given to them will let them do. And holistically speaking, you have the writing, the performance, the set, the editing, everything comes together into just a well-made project. No matter how like whatever rating you give it, like you can't really argue that the quality of effort that was put into this project, it stands out, especially compared to the rest of the MCU as a whole.
You could tell they definitely put some stock into this movie to get people for people to look forward to, like, okay, yeah, we're actually trying now. This isn't just set up anymore. But and I think you mentioned a good point. Like the setting was great. Well, the setting was amazing. The camera work, amazing. Some of the shots you see in the trailers that were more fleshed out. And the CGI, I understand where people thought it was kind of, but most of the time, like good, like 90% of the time, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but there were just some moments where, but like you didn't care. Like it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
If you're not a Marvel fan, I completely understand. But we, and I mean me, endorse this movie even if you aren't a fan of superhero genre, even if you aren't a part of love of Marvel. Because this is a story about family. So I'd recommend you go out there and you watch this movie, regardless of how you feel about superheroes, Marvel, DC, whatever. Check this movie out. Now, with that being said, it is time for your spoiler warning. If you surpass this time slot that it says, you will enter the lion's den. And whatever happens is your own fault. Frank, sound the alarms.
Spoiler! Go, Joseph.
Yes, this is a movie about family, but the last thing I needed to see the night before I watched the movie, courtesy of the BS of Twitter, I didn't need to know the family came to be earlier in the movie than expected. Screw this movie! And spoiler.
He found out that Franklin was out there earlier in the movie, like, than he would have anticipated. He would have preferred if he never knew when Franklin shows up.
Yeah, because, I mean, either which way.
I mean, he was a big plot point of the movie.
Marketing-wise, which I appreciate. He was as big as a point of the movie.
It makes sense. It made sense.
I remember back then, like months ago, Funko Pop announced their Fantastic Four Funkos, and then they had Sue Storm with a baby. So I knew it was going to happen. I just thought it would be more of like an epilogue type of thing. But hey, either which way, great movie.
I mean...
So, since he didn't give a good spoiler, I'm going to do it. Johnny, I'm not going to lie. Don't blame you for catching the eyes. Don't blame you, brother. That body from the Silver Surfer, that was quality. I may not like the face, but Johnny knew. You
can see under the Silver Surfer. You can see under the reflection of his face.
Yeah. So she's the first one I want to start with because the Silver Surfer, for the first time in live action, was actually menacing.
I think my favorite part was the
goosebump.
One of my favorite parts, possibly my favorite part, was when she first pulled up, like in the trailer. Your planet is marked for death, but man,
you better say that right.
But wait, but that little snippet does not even compare to the whole speech. That whole speech was the menacing of the menacing, brother. That was great.
Bro,
And you know what? And I like
hold your
wait,
loved
wait.
ones. Say
bro.
the words you were too afraid to say.
No, that's crazy. I was like, yo, like it's just like it's such a like this dude is coming. You can do nothing about it. Say goodbye while you can. I'm out, and that's it. Like that's basically what she said.
Compared to how Thanos had said he's inevitable, that speech made Galactus feel like he was inevitable, formidable, a threat to be held. Say the things you're afraid to say. Like this part's gonna get cut out. I'm fucking right.
No, I'm keeping it in.
But it's just like Thanos needed to say it. She didn't. It's more like it is what it is, and we're just gonna show you. You're gonna know. So we don't need to say what he is. You'll know by what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And the fact that he wasn't the one saying it, man, barely spoke. And when he did, he called them ants.
And he told them.
No. He
You
called
want
them
to
bugs.
save when him and Reed are talking. When him and Reed are talking, you could not sound any colder than that man sounded.
Nah.
He
The
sounded-
way he pulled up. The way he pulled up, bro. I was like, that was wild, bro. That was wild. Thank God he's not a
honestly-
cloud. He's
That's
not
the
a
first
cloud.
thing I said. That is the first thing I said in the
Yup.
theater. He's
Shout out
not a
to Manny.
cloud.
That made me laugh. I was like, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Because
Why not?
honestly, when I saw the little spaceship, I was just like, there's no way that he's like the spaceship. I was like, don't do this.
The little
They
spaceship?
ruined me. The little spaceship. I was just like, there's no way that
That's not a
he's
little
there.
spaceship, brother.
That was a little spaceship.
That was not. This man went straight through a planet that was 15% larger than Earth.
Was 13.
13, whatever.
Way to keep
Same
the accurate
difference.
measurements out
Same
here.
difference. All right, Reed.
Measurements
Whatever.
matter.
But either way, Galactus was done incredibly. I praise I have no idea who he is. I praise the man. He got the voice right. He for sure made his presence felt. Galactus is there, and he's there for Earth. Simple.
He felt heavy.
He gives them a choice and says, you either have this or you have this. Choose.
And it's like, and I don't, you guys didn't, I don't know if you guys felt it, but I went to 40X How to Train Your Dragon, and they put the Fantastic Four trailer, and it showed the trailer where he's taking steps. Bro, it was like, I was like, bro, the way they made his footsteps feel heavy was exactly how you would expect. And you could see like how he was stepping, and like they were all underground. Oh, this man's for sure gonna go through, bro. There's no way.
If you got any more points about Galactus, then
Like, seeing Galactus showing up from, like, the dark void of his ship to, whole, like, boom, took me back to when you would watch the Silver Surfer cartoon back in the day, where you had Spider-Man, you had Iron Man. That Galactus was brought from 2D animation, 3D animation to life. He looked great. Voice? Don't even matter. He had weight. He was a big boy. He wasn't a crop duster in space. And that's
Nah,
what I
look-
wanted.
Now looking at the Statue of Liberty, like, I was like, "Hey, yo." That was
Nah, I'm
standing
not
in the
gonna lie.
ocean,
I'm
looking
not
down
gonna
at the
lie.
Statue of Liberty. That's crazy.
this is just me being nitpicky. Would have been colder if it was the Statue of Liberty with the Captain America thing on it, but obviously this is a different Earth. But that would have been cold. That would have been a colder moment. But
Galactus was great.
from obviously the
coming.
two antagonists to the family, I just want to praise Pedro Pascal for proving me wrong. You proved me wrong. Because when you were casted as Mr. Fantastic, I said, this is Marvel trying to capitalize on the fact that he's Joel from The Last of Us, and he was in Game of Thrones. The man, I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember what other role he had before that, but there was something else besides The Last of Us. I don't remember what it was.
Mandalorian?
but The Mandalorian.
So
That's how I
mean,
first
his
found
big
out about him.
modern breakthrough started because of Narcos. on
Narcos.
Netflix.
Oh, I forgot
So,
he was on that. I didn't really watch it. that's why.
I thought 100% this was Marvel being like, oh, he's getting big. Let's put him in a role. So you proved me 100% wrong. One of the best things about the performance Pedro Pascal did, he only smiled one time. He smiled one time because that's who Reed Richards is. He does not smile. And the only time he smiled was the birth of his son. And that hit home. This man has shared so many moments, even in the hug he shared with the Thing. He did not smile.
Thing or Johnny,
He did not smile.
bro. But
Shout out to Pedro Pascal for proving me wrong. Brother, you have my praise. You are Mr. Fantastic.
bro, for real, like the other dude made him look like him, but you were him.
But you were him.
You were him. He looked like him, but you were him. Brother, but not to mention the fact that I think the best thing that Marvel has going for it throughout everything is their casting is always on point. No matter what, it's always on point. I never known them to be like completely off. Maybe a little bit off, like but like completely off, nah. Nah. But this movie, every single character, every single actor they picked for each role played them perfectly. Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman. Who was the actor for the original one? I don't remember because Vanessa Kirby is Invisible Woman, and you just said her name.
Let me just respectfully disagree. I'm sorry.
You're bugging.
Vanessa Kirby, you did phenomenal. You did
No,
great.
you're
You are
bugging.
Sue. You are Sue Storm in the MCU.
No.
But my Sue Storm is Jessica Alba.
Oh no.
She will forever be.
No. Because unlike
Those
Jessica
speeches
Alba,
were on point, brother.
Shut up, Frank. Unlike Jessica Alba, Vanessa Kirby's mommy. She's actually a mommy. Don't get it twisted. She's a mommy. Who can speak volumes? Who can make a speech to people?
Another wave.
This is not just a mommy. She's a woman. That is a wowman. I'm wowed. I'm switching teams.
And the way, and the way she held like the group together, and it's crazy because I predicted this, but I knew, bro, just based off the trailers and the way everything worked. she was the glue that held this family together, 100%. And the fact that she died, I was like, they're cooked. Like they're ready.
She didn't die. She didn't die.
She died like I said she would, and then Franklin just said, and then she lived again, breathed life into her, looking like Naruto and Mike Guy.
Not gonna lie, the most anime thing Marvel's done so far.
I ain't gonna lie.
For real.
In that one scene,
I thought about Luffy with Crocodile.
she's just laying there, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's just a baby," and then you could see the baby struggling. Like, get out the way. I know what I'm doing. Let me.
I got powers. Let me breathe life into my
I
mother.
thought that was funny.
Wait, can Franklin now say that he gave her life?
Yeah,
What
he gave birth to her.
Or the egg?
You can't
He
use
gave
that
birth
argument
to
on
her.
him no more. I gave you life. So did I. I gave it to you back.
Bro, he can't be like any Hispanic mom and be like, I carried you for 9 months. I revived you.
No.
I play Call of Duty in real life.
No. You throw the chocolate, but I
Got
ain't
you
the
out the
chocolate.
gulag.
Boy, if she threw the chocolate, he'll just make it not exist. Like, let's be real here.
No. He is the chocolate.
But now going from Vanessa Kirby, you got to talk about Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. Brother, I am so happy that they didn't make you like Chris Evans, bro. Because Chris
Facts.
Evans was an idiot. He was an
Cocky
idiot in that
idiot,
movie.
yeah.
And Johnny Storm is not that. He is an idiot sometimes, obviously, because he likes to have fun.
After we're done.
But he is smart. And the fact that he had such a big mission in this, which is so overlooked by the other three,
Makes sense.
is perfect. And when he stands there and tells the Silver Surfer that you're doing this to my world, and I figured out your language, I already know how
To your
to
emotions,
speak it.
to her emotions. Yeah, exactly
I was
what he
just
would
like,
do.
this is Johnny Storm. This is him. And he played it so well. Joseph Quinn obviously is big part of Stranger Things, if you've ever seen it. Again, another person I questioned whether or not he could actually pull off the role. Again, I was wrong. There were only two people in this movie I trusted, and that was Vanessa Kirby and Eobon Moss as the Thing. Joseph Quinn, you've proven me wrong. You have turned a doubter into a believer. You are Johnny Storm.
And honestly, like the Thing in this movie, I wouldn't say that he had like a crazy role, but he had a very strong supporting role. Very, very much like how the Thing should be. Like he's a solid foundation for the team. Doesn't say much, but when he does, it's important. You know, man. Like I gotta say, and like the way they showed emotion in this movie, the way they portrayed all these family moments, I was not expecting such a masterful acting performance in a superhero movie for the Fantastic Four. Like really, like it made me feel like, dang, like I feel you, bro. Like I know people that have been through this. I know I'll probably be going through this one day, even though I probably won't birth my baby in space. Like if they ask you where you from space,
aside from the whole like heavy notes of family, because that's a
Like I
lot of
said,
depth
bro.
that the MCU has been
Like I said.
missing, to be honest.
Like I said.
Like Frank said.
Like I said, bro.
But at the
So they're all
same
alive.
time, they emphasized and showcased the weight of responsibility and the weight of burden that comes with being a hero. Because Galactus gave them an ultimatum. Either give up the kid or give up the Earth. Right. That was his ultimatum. And obviously this family who would sacrifice themselves for each other, they didn't just want to sacrifice one of them to save themselves. And where everyone on Earth was just like, all you gotta do is just sacrifice your kid as if no one else has their own family, really reflected how people really would act, and I loved it.
Yep. Because
Because
they
at
were
that
trying to
point,
protect themselves.
sure,
Worried about
everyone says
themselves.
it's really cool to be a hero, but to be a hero always comes at a cost to oneself.
Bro, but like you got to think about it like this: like the Fantastic Four are heroes in a scale we've never seen in this universe yet. They're on a different scale. Like they're stopping wars. They're bringing the whole world together. Like they brought the whole world against Galactus in like a couple days. Like no one. I don't see anybody else in the MCU that could do that. Like at all. Like that's how much of a global heroic icon they are to people. Like that's how much of a grand stage they stand on. That's how much they've done. And honestly, it's mostly because of Sue Storm. It's really her that really sets those relationships and pulls them together. Especially with the subterranean people. Like she even turned their villains into political partners. Like what? Like who does that? Nobody. Like Nick Fury just blows people up. And just gets rid of people. He just gets rid of people. Nah, he's too dangerous. Get rid of him. He's too dangerous. Get rid of him.
One thing I want to mention, because now we're kind of focusing on the story element of it, is this story feels unique in itself only because the MCU wasn't afraid to harp on the family thing. The fact that this felt like a family, whereas if you watch the Thunderbolts, that was more of a group of misfits put together for a common goal. They felt more connected as a unit the more the movie progressed, because you see them care for each other. And that's something that these teams like the Avengers and, you know, the X-Men previously, you don't really see because they're not a family. They're put together. Granted, you do see that level of emotion when you see Natasha die, but it's not to the gravity of how they did it here. And for some strange reason, I felt it more when Sue died than when Natasha died. And Black Widow, if I'm confusing you by saying Natasha. Black Widow. I felt the gravity. I wish she would have stayed dead.
I agree. I agree.
But
I want
knew it was gonna
consequences
happen.
in my movie.
But you could sense the emotion of a loss of a family member instead of a loss of a teammate. And that holds weight in this movie. And I hope going forward in Avengers Doomsday, when the stakes are high, I can feel that same emotional connection with the characters that I felt in this movie.
And like when it comes to like the consequences, I felt like the consequences that they're gonna have to deal with for their actions, they kind of did it in this movie where like everybody kind of turned against them, but they kind of flipped it around, right? But I think the consequence of them even having the child, as we obviously see at the end of the movie, Doom is there. Which Doom? We don't know. We don't know. But obviously, them even having the child is gonna cause is what causes Avengers Doomsday. Like part of his big plan, because he's after Franklin, right? Just like Galactus was. He's after that power, bro. And like, and then yeah, they protected him against a crazy force, but they're gonna have to deal with a bunch of people trying to get that power now, and he's one of them.
One other thing I want to mention that they did great: they did not defeat Galactus.
Yep, perfect.
Just
They
Perfect.
just prolonged the inevitable.
The inevitable. That's the only thing they could do, right? And just like I
Good
said,
on them. And on top of that, they didn't stand a chance.
nope. They tried. They did a
Love
little
that.
bit. Did a little bit. They
Johnny,
had to sacrifice
Johnny,
themselves just to push him back. Just to push him back.
and another thing, Johnny being able to consume flames.
Oh yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Finally, good job, Marvel. Way to finally do it.
I think this movie. I mean, I don't know much about the Fantastic Four comically, but it seemed very comic accurate in terms of the way they portrayed the characters and the way that their powers worked. But when it comes to the actual plot point of them defeating Galactus, me and Manny were like, I think all of us were kind of scratching our heads, like, what are they gonna do against this guy? Like, they obviously can't win in an actual fight. But like, it made sense once they brought Franklin into the picture. Cause like he didn't care about them. He's like, oh, these just ants. Whatever. I just want to get what I want so I can finally be free from this prison that I'm in of eternal hunger. He was just desperate to get the kid. But in that desperation, he was pushed back. And at the last second, he was about to come back and they were gonna fail. But like I said, Johnny was about to sacrifice himself. And then the other thing I said, where the Silver Surfer helped him. And she pushed him in. And it rocked his world. Literally.
The one, even though this could have been shown on a bit earlier in the MCU, but the nature of the Fantastic Four as like their overarching subject, especially being science oriented, it was nice to see the more, not necessarily more of the science side, but the science processes and seeing the grand scale of how far, even though this movie's setting is more in the past, like 60s or whatever, but them
Yeah, they didn't look like the 60s.
Them projecting that
The
sense
retrofuturistic in this movie is done phenomenal.
Crazy, but continue.
that sense of science and allure, like especially when they're going or when they're trying to run away from the Silver Surfer and they end up in a black hole, like that sense of just mesmer. That's what gets to me. That's that crazy out of world superhero cosmic stuff that, like, if you really get deep into the comics, that's where Marvel takes you, and I just love how we got a taste of that.
And you know what? The first thing I thought of when they were in that black hole and they did the slingshot thing? I'm over here like, yo, Ben Grimm, the most goated pilot I've ever seen in my life. This man slingshotted off a black hole like it was just another day. And then it didn't even flinch. It's like, who wins, him or Vin Diesel? Because he also has the power of family.
Why did this feel more like a family than Vin Diesel's family?
That's a fact.
Because there was no Corona.
Because there was no cars.
There was no music.
There was no Don Omar.
Just cold-hearted calculation.
With all that being said, what did you think about Fantastic Four: The First Steps? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think that Chris Evans is better than Joseph Quinn? If you do, you're wrong. I'm Manny.
Frank.
I'm Joseph.
Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Spotify. Join the Discord. Join in the conversation. Comment down below. Who is your favorite member of the Fantastic Four? Frank, what should we say now?
Fantastic Four! Peace!